I love this stuff. So I can't wait to talk to our next guest, Dan Koob, who is producing a show called SportsTown on YouTube. And it's everything I love, because I love the culture of sports. And in fact, I got to tell you a story about a similar show I almost had on the Travel Channel.
I've heard stories of this. I've heard stories of your story.
Really?
So tertiary
Danny,
sourmes.
What's up, baby?
How are you? Thanks for having me on,
brother? It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I love this. I love your project. Years ago, I made it to the top. I'm still pissed off about it. It was called International Sportsman, and it was about the culture of sports.
Okay.
So it was for the Travel Channel. I had a pretty veteran producer, and we made it all the way up to the top level. And it was going to be greenlit. And then they had the great idea of not doing my show and doing, who was the linebacker, bow tie?
Jones?
Tony Jones. Yeah. He had a travel show himself, yeah.
So, no, they went with
They had his travel show.
Oh.
They decided to pivot at the last minute and went to Honey Jones.
Because he went like this. That was at the
banjo guy. That's right.
You didn't have a
Danny.
He didn't have a signature move.
Yeah.
Danny, I'm still to this day. I've had a lot of near misses in film and television.
Yeah.
But that was one, because I love the concept, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Because there's the culture that surrounds sports is awesome. It's everything we love. So tell us about SportsTown.
Yeah, I'll ground it a little bit for you guys too. SportsTown is the search for America's best sports city. Bar none. Don't have to be 4 for 4. Don't have to have, 3 professional teams. You could just be a college town. We are in search of the greatest sports city in America. We go all around the country. And the best thing is the show is me, 3 of my buddies from Temple. 2 of them own a production company in South Philly. We are Philly through and through. So I'm here to talk about our Philly episode, which comes out Friday. But we go around the country. We try to, really get in with the locals. We want to curate the perfect sports weekend for people who otherwise would be watching a Kentucky basketball game or an LSU football game and saying, like, that atmosphere looks amazing. I would love to go there, but how do I fill the other 72 hours of my trip? So we not only do we take you inside the stadium and the atmosphere, but we show you where to eat, where to stay, what to do. So you basically have a curated trip after 20, 25 minutes of the episode. So you know exactly what to do.
I love it. I as a sports writer when I was in New York, I did a national gig. So I was traveling over 300 nights a year. And I still love it. I mean, all these different cities and nooks and crannies and following this one and that one. And then immersion is the best thing about it. So where have you been so far?
So our pilot episode was in Lexington, Kentucky,
right?
Which is, I'll tell you, is a real sleeper.
It is.
So I'm a guy who loves bourbon and I love gambling on horses.
Oh,
so
yeah, nice.
Loved Lexington, Kentucky. I'll tell you that right now. We went to Keeneland, we went to Buffalo Trace, a bunch of distilleries, and then obviously Kentucky basketball is one of the greatest programs in the history of college sports. So that was a great one. We released an episode last month or 2 months ago with the Savannah Bananas. So we went down to Georgia, hung out with the Bananas, and they basically were like, guys, do whatever you want. You just can't play in the game.
Right.
So like we're in the locker room. I'm wearing some guy's pants. I mean, I may have been wearing his jock. I don't know. I'm not going to say. And then, we worked with Major League Baseball and the Phillies for our Philly episode, which comes out Friday. We went to a game in July and, being from here, everyone is from here. Everybody went to Temple, as I mentioned. There's a lot of pressure to get it right. You know what I mean? Because if we wanted to make an episode for people who, if you were from Philly, you would say those guys are clearly from Philly. And if you were not from Philly, you weren't going to look at that and say, they just played the hits.
Right.
We went to the steps and we did the Rocky thing. We went to like a cheesesteak place, which is famous, but it really shouldn't be famous for any of the reasons that a cheesesteak place should be famous. So, it's a balancing act between those things. I think we really hit it. I think people are really going to like the episode. And then we actually just wrapped on a Kansas City Chiefs episode.
Really?
Fell. So we were up at Arrowhead 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's a great place. It's a
great place.
You know what? It's amazing because you look up and the sky beginning Friday is perpetually gray from the barbecue smoke.
Well, the barbecue, people say the fables are well known about the barbecue there.
It's legit.
It is legit.
It's ridiculous.
I ate not only the barbecue, but a 10-pound sandwich. I measured it was 18 inches off the ground.
What?
They made an eating challenge for us. Now, this is not like man versus food.
Right.
I'm like not the biggest guy. But you know, they
What
put an
was the-
18-foot sandwich or
What
burger in front of
what was it? What was it made?
10 Wagyu beef patties.
Oh my God.
And then, so it's basically 5 burgers stacked on top with a skewer, keep them in place, and a whole box of fries. And I had a half hour to take it down.
Wow.
So that's Kansas City. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
All right. Well,
Philadelphia.
tell me about so
Philadelphia.
All right, so let's talk about Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And take us from the beginning.
Yep.
Of the episode.
So
Kinda
start
go
to finish.
through it.
Okay,
Yeah.
start to finish. Well, you know, apropos of what I just said, we do a little something at the Art Museum steps. You kind of have to,
I had no beef with that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you have to. It's iconic.
just to set.
It's a
set-
part of the landscape, and listen, it's something we're proud of.
Yeah.
First of all, that museum, if you actually go inside, if people can actually go inside, they'll see some of the greatest art. It's an amazing museum.
Yeah.
I'm
What do
always
you mean
upset.
people can
What's
actually
the
go
ratio?
inside? Like,
what's
what's
the
stopping
percentage of
them?
people who actually go inside versus just run up the steps?
I know.
Oh, it's probably- it's
I
a
always wanna tell
5%.
people, like, listen, like friends of mine from outside the area, and I go, dude, like, oh, I want to go to the art museum. All right, well, the steps. Go inside.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. I've been to the
We're looking
Chicago
at there's a
Museum of
statue
Art,
out front. We see a statue.
the Chicago Museum of Art, like obviously the Met in New York. Philadelphia's right there. It's an incredible museum.
And behind it, I mean, Kelly Drive,
Oh.
everything behind there is
Boathouse
beautiful.
Row.
Oh,
it's
amazing.
It's truly amazing.
Slept on.
All right,
slept
you
on.
did the
So-
steps, which I'm down with.
Yeah, so we have the steps. We have a little bit of a one for you, one for us. Like, I love Reading Terminal.
Mm-hmm.
What everybody says, you know, you got to go. I think it's like, if you're coming to Philly, like that is on the checklist.
Yeah.
You go. So we sat at the counter at
We've done a
Nick's.
show there every
Great.
year for over a
Yeah,
decade.
One of the oldest open air markets in the entire
Right,
country.
in
Far
fact,
superior
Wednesday-
to Seattle's.
The Wednesday
Yeah,
before
Yeah, I mean, no one's
Thanksgiving.
throwing fish at your face. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Like,
the
have some
pike.
respect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Way better than Pike.
So we sat at the counter at the Nick's. We did a roast pork because it's my personal belief that roast pork is the best sandwich in the city. It's not a cheesesteak. It's the roast pork. Now, that may be controversial. You took
I
a
mean,
step
listen,
back from the mic.
I mean, I grew up with roast pork, right? Like
Yeah.
in South Philly, it was like, I mean, it was everybody's house. Before it became a thing, everybody had roast pork. Well, New Year's Day was roast pork,
Yeah.
right? With broccoli rabe. Now everybody broccoli rabe and sharp roll. We were eating that when we were kids and,
Yeah.
and going, yeah, all right. And it's great. But
Uh-oh.
there's nothing better than a cheesesteak.
Okay.
As much as
All right.
as much as it's cliche
Yeah.
and the whole thing, I still the cheesesteak is like I get different tastes, which kinds I want. And,
Yeah.
Oh, and it's always been. When I was a kid, my grandmother would come home from a night out, and there was a place called Oregon Steaks. It's a different Oregon Steaks on 13th in Oregon, and she would bring the bag and wake the kids up 2:00 in the morning, and we'd whack up Oregon Steak. It was the greatest treat that we'd ever have. So I love the fact
Nothing
that you're at
puts you
the
to sleep better than a 2 a.m.
cheesesteak
cheesesteak.
when you're
Yeah.
when you're 11 years
Right.
old.
But
But
there's second level thinking here. You know, everyone does
I like
cheesesteaks. We go
the
for
fact
it.
you went roast pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went roast pork, and then we did one for us. We went to Bob and Barbara's. Those
Oh,
who
yeah.
know, they know Bob and Barbara's, great bar. Basically, going all around the city, we did a bit of
You
historical.
do a
tour.
citywide at Baba Barber's?
Of course, we did.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's the OG, the inventor
so
of the
I worked at
citywide.
local news in this market, and they always tell you don't eat or drink on camera. But now that I no longer do that, I'm constantly eating and drinking on camera.
Mhm.
Actually, you're supposed, and then they told you have to do it.
Well, it depends who you are. If you have like a branded segment
Right,
where you
right.
get to go tell
Yeah,
everyone,
you got to eat the
amazing.
food. I'll never do it. I do it for Fox. They're like, you got to eat it. I'm like, all right, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, it's free. It's for me. So we do that, and then we do basically a historical tour of Old City.
Cool.
Right? We're down at Ellsworth Alley. We're down at
Alfred Sally's one of the best, man.
the oldest residential.
Especially right now in the fall with the
I
leaves
love
and
it.
stuff. It's awesome.
I love it.
oldest residential street in America.
Yep.
Yeah, almost 300 years. Betsy Ross House. You know, there are some pretty famous people in this episode. I'm going to tell you outright. Benjamin Franklin, Betsy Ross, the Philly fanatic, is in this
Nice.
episode as well. A huge surprise to us was Governor Josh Shapiro is in this episode.
Oh, get out.
He
He
saw
loves
our
it.
first
Yeah.
episode, and he was like, "I want to come on the show." Now, can I curse on the show?
No.
Okay, no curse. That's fine. He came in and sat down with us because he wanted to talk about being a Philadelphia sports fan from Montgomery County, right? And he sits down, and I'm thinking, this is the governor. You know, let's put on a bit of a stately
Yeah.
interview.
You wear
here.
a suit?
Not the case.
No,
Not the case.
he's-
I mean,
he
he came in,
loves it.
he was firing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're gonna have to throw some, some.
He cursed
some
with us when
expletives
he was
over
on.
his mouth,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that, right? He was going at it, but great interview. takes a huge shot at Ben Simmons in the episode, which is like one of my favorite things of all time. I like, we almost had to cut because I was laughing so hard. So, the historical aspect, and then, we spend a lot of time in the stadium. Like, one of the cool things about this show is that we actually take you in to give you the in-game experience.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of these shows will do just the town, like a pure travel show. A lot of these shows will go into, but because of, red tape with either leagues or teams, there's really, their hands are tied. We work with the leagues, we work with the teams because they have a vested interest in showing people who could come to their stadium what it's actually like, and it gives us the best
game
content.
day. Sure.
So like, we go around, we try a ton of the food. We the game was okay. Ranger Suarez gave up 5 in the second inning in a July game against the Angels. So, the atmosphere took a little bit of a hit, but we do get to show you exactly what it's like to sit in the stands, to walk around Ashburn Alley, to go out into the park, to test your arm. I threw a bullpen out there. Not impressive, I'll tell you right now. But at the end of the day, we rank each show. Or each town rather. So at the end of each show, we have a scale that helps us determine who, in fact, is the best.
Now, how do you come up with that?
So it's a town scale.
Right.
SportsTown. So the T is for teams. Are your teams good? If your teams suck, your town's not going to be that good, right? Think about like Philly in 2012, 2013, like the nuclear winter of Philadelphia.
Dude, you
sports.
have no idea how bad it goes. The 90s, where
like
the dark ages.
Well, like 2012, you're talking process era. You're talking Andy Reid just got fired. The Flyers, 2 years removed from his Stanley Cup appearance. They've been wandering the wilderness ever since. And the Phillies were refusing to let go of a bygone era, right? So all 4 teams sucked. So like that would heavily factor into your team rating. Then there's the O, which is the obsessiveness. Like how obsessed is the fan base with your teams? And obviously in Philadelphia, that's like a 10 out of 10. Right? Not to give anything.
No, we are. That's who we are, as you know.
Yeah.
Because we're Temple people, and when you grow up here, you're indoctrinated. I created 4 for 4. This is what it's about. It's about being obsessed with sports in your town.
And I'll tell you, like, I kind of set out to say, I want to really dive into the psychology of a Philly sports fan. Like, why are we this way? So the first part of the episode is an exploration into why are we this way? Why is our national reputation the way it is? And is it earned? So we talk a lot about that. And there's a lot of really passionate, everyday people down at tailgates, business owners down in Passyunk who are not shy about why they love Philadelphia sports. And then the W is the wow factor. What does your city have to offer that no other city has, right? And then finally, N, Jewish guy, Nosh. How's your food?
Yeah, there you go.
You got to bring the fire. You got to bring the food. Roast pork obviously is amazing. It's not just like what food are we highlighting in the episode, but like give me an overall look of the cuisine in your town.
Agreed.
Is it good, right? Because obviously we work with some really great restaurants and some great places like the Knicks in this episode. And again, Bob and Barbara's as well. So like, yes, that factors in, but like, what is your town known for? KC Barbecue, another great example. There's like 3 barbecue places in that episode. So it's more of like an accumulation of those things, not exactly.
Go back to the wow. Because
sure.
Wow. So
we put that together, scale from 40.
I love the idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's great. Brilliant about doing it. So wow, what constitutes your wow?
What is there to do? I mean, to me, I love history. So Philadelphia is so important in the significance of our nation coming together, obviously, even before it was a nation. So that to me is incredibly exciting and impressive. And we have done a great job, I think, as a city of maintaining so much of that. So for me, that's really exciting. But another example of that is quite easily, like I mentioned, Lexington. I mean, you can't open your eyes without somebody handing you a bourbon, and you can't open your eyes without going to either, Keeneland for horse racing or basketball. There's like something to do in a town of 100,000 people. There's a lot to do there. So for me, like that's
what time of year did you do?
March. It was actually ended up being John Calipari's last game. He was in the pilot. We had to cut him out of the pilot because he quit. Went to Arkansas like 2 weeks after.
Right.
So for Philadelphia, obviously I mentioned the historical stuff, but we have the art museum. We've got so many things in the community that make the community great. And obviously this is in many ways a love letter to where we all grew up because we love Philly so much.
Howdy, man.
But we do have we have a obligation to do a real search, so like other places.
I mean, listen, the world is filled.
Yeah.
I love the idea of, hey, we're going to rank them and that's great. But these towns all have cool stuff to do. It's all about, it's experiential, right? Like that's the biggest piece of it. I used to look forward to. You can give me a city, and I can give you something I loved about it.
Savannah, Georgia.
You know, exactly.
They don't have professional sports. They don't have a collegiate team. They have a fake baseball team.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We had an amazing time.
But it's a great literary town.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Savannah, for ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah, we went ghost hunting in that episode.
Yeah.
So all this is available on our YouTube channel right now. It's SportsTown Show on YouTube and SportsTown Show on Instagram. You can watch all that stuff, but working directly with the Bananas and doing ghost hunting and like an around town thing. I mean, like we really want to give people not only the idea of like the physical space in a town like Philly, where like you can walk to all these places too. You're not like, oh, you're taking me to like the northwest corner of the city. Now you're taking me to a suburb.
Right. And
we want people to understand like, no, you can do all of this.
Yeah.
You just have to go. And that's the point of the show.
I love it. I absolutely
Is
love
Philly
it.
in the ranking, or Philly's the GOAT, the standard, and every other city compares to it? Or are you actually scoring Philly compared to these other teams?
Yeah, well, without giving away too much, everyone is ranked equally, right? So, like, one of the things here is obviously being from here, we know what it's like going to a Phillies game, an Eagles game, whatever. But because we're only going to one game for all these cities, we have to rank it based on that game, right? So, like, if your team gets blown out, that's not going to look all that good. So, the Phillies get blown out in a game that we went to, and we have to look at that objectively and say, okay, like these other towns only get one shot. Philly gets one shot. So, that team score may have taken a hit, may not if you have to watch the episode Friday. But, it all plays into exactly where these places are going to slot.
What's next coming? Some of the cities next on the list.
So December 1st, our Kansas City game. Again, we were at the Chiefs and the Lions Sunday Night Football, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
I mentioned the 18-inch hamburger tower that we took down. We were at Joe's Barbecue. We're at all kinds of places that. It was a lot of fun.
That's
and
quick
then
turnaround time. It was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, there's only like 8 people who work on the show.
Oh,
And we all
terrific,
have
man.
other jobs.
Right.
So,
But that's impressive. Turning it around 2
So,
weeks.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work. Everyone who works on the show does an amazing job, and everyone is incredibly talented in their own way. But it's people who are just trying to like get this thing going.
Good for you.
How do you find your locals that give you recommendations?
It's a great question, actually. So we have kind of found that Philly, we didn't really need the help.
Yeah.
But we usually reach out to visitors bureaus
Okay.
and say, hey, like this is what we do. You have a marketing budget.
I got an
Would you
idea
help
for
us
you.
there?
Like,
Yeah.
The next
And then
time
they'll kind of curate some stuff.
It's good that you use them because of the marketing budget, right? Like, so that's great. But you got to find the local media guy, because the true local media guy can give you a flavor of the town, the bar, the thing,
Yeah.
And I have, if you ever need any help, but there's always people you can go
Yeah.
that'll lead you through the nooks and the crannies. of it.
So, and I'll pull back the curtain a little bit more. I don't know how much time you have for me, but so I did the local news circuit forever.
yeah.
Right. So the episodes we've gone to thus far are basically places where I worked. And
Oh, it's good.
Oh,
so quick story. We went to Lexington because our first episode, we got down to Kentucky and Duke. I worked in Louisville, so I knew the people at University of Kentucky. Sent them both an email, and I said, hey, here's the concept. We want to do it. Lexington and UK, to their credit, within like 5 minutes was like, let's do it. Duke was like, call us when Netflix picks you up.
right.
So like Duke's out. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not going to go to Duke. We'll go to UNC.
Right.
But we're not.
Right.
We'll go to Chapel Hill.
I
but
once
like Durham's
slept out with,
Krzyzewskiville.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When Temple played Duke in 2010, they went down there. Temple was like a top 12 program, lost by like 35. But we went down there and did the same thing.
Yeah, it's great. It was before Carolina game, and so I went down and just slept out for a week. I had a place to marry up, but
okay.
but I slept out for
Not roughing it with the co-eds.
well. For that, it was funny because back then I needed someone to follow because I was working in New York, so I needed somebody to follow. So I found this group of kids, and I'm like, listen, I'll buy you pizza every night and some beers, and let me hang with you. They're like, yeah. So I would just take but I'd stay hang with them until like 2:00 in the morning and then leave, come back in the morning.
Good beer?
No. No.
I mean, like we were drinking like Milwaukee's best.
No, I had a Spence account with the Post, so
Oh, perfect.
I was able to get them good beer and good pizza every night. Dude, I'm very proud of you, man.
Well, I
So
appreciate it.
Friday it comes out.
Friday,
it drops.
probably like 9-ish a.m. It'll be on YouTube.
Awesome.
Again, SportsTown Show on YouTube, SportsTown Show on Instagram and all socials, TikTok as well. We're ramping up a lot of posts. We just posted myself and Ben Franklin drinking a beer together. I will mention illegally on the National Mall. He was very nervous. He was like, "This would be a great news story if I got arrested."
He's got a reputation.
He does.
Well, now we are sullying that reputation. But no, great fun. So go check it out, please. And,
that's awesome.
And follow us along the journey. We're going to keep going.
Where are your socials so people can follow you on social media?
SportsTown. So SportsTown Show on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube as well. Go check it out. You can watch those other episodes I mentioned right now, and then of course Friday at like 9 a.m.
Love it.
The episode will be out. So I appreciate you guys giving me some time.
Proud of you, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, thanks so much for chat with you. Thanks
man. Good luck with everything.
I love what you guys do.
That's
here.
awesome.
Thank you.
Keep us posted. Like when you got new stuff, like we'll be glad to pump it out. I think it's great. I love it.
Appreciate that.
You have a great way about you. No, you really do. Like I'm rooting for you.
Fingers crossed. Thanks so much. I saw you reading Tyler Dunn's write up about it earlier.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Shout out to Go Long. But yeah, no, thanks guys. Really appreciate it.
Man.
Hopefully you guys like the episode. Let us know.
I'm sure we will, man. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Love it. Proud of you, buddy.
Thanks.
Dan Koob checking in. SportsTown. Love it. I love the fact and the idea of us celebrating who we are is, I think, important, right? Because we are unique, and I love all the different towns and the whole thing, but obviously with us, we're a unique bunch. And Danny's from here. We want to support all of our local people and a lot of the great stuff that they're doing.